We're good.
All right.
It's
Hey
off.
guys, we're back with another podcast. Today, we have a special guest. You may know her, you may not. Her name is Charksy. Um, I've been talking to her for like the past week. We finally got her in, and this is gonna be awesome. I hope you guys enjoy. We have a few things that we want to talk about,
Vicious trouble.
and yeah, if you enjoy, might as well see if you can drop a follow and just sit down, relax, and let us talk about our things.
All right. Well,
So, anybody want to start off with anything, or how you guys want to do this?
I know. Well, I'll start off. I know I said this before stream, but I just got to say it again. It's an honor to have you, Charksy. Really.
Oh, no, thank you guys so much for bringing me on here. I feel like I've been doing just like so much Fortnite lately, and like I love just chatting streams. Like that's kind of how I started streaming. So
Yeah, I
it's
hear you.
definitely really nice to have like a moment of like just actual, like conversation outside of
Yeah,
Fortnite
Yeah,
and
totally.
gaming specifically. Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
yeah.
Glad you're here.
It definitely is good to sometimes like get a break from how you would normally stream and do whatever. It's definitely fun to sometimes get a break or change it up a bit, and you know, it is also amazing that you are the first special guest that we have. We haven't had anybody else on the podcast. It's only been us two. Never had any other friends. Never had any other, creators. Anybody like you're the first one. So we are really honored to have you as our first guest. I've been like watching up on your streams, and you're an awesome person. You're an awesome streamer, and just honestly, like your streams and your personality is like an entire vibe.
Thank
Like
you. Thank you.
we yeah, like we even talked off stream for like an hour before everything, and it was just amazing. It was just good vibes. The energy was there. So it was definitely awesome to have you there.
Thank you.
Totally. And by
I
the
feel
way,
like
you
it's
Jagger YT, thank you for the follow. Oh, my bad.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, no, I feel like it's important. Like that's something I really strive for and like strive to maintain when I'm live is like good vibes. Because I don't know, I just feel like there's so much negativity in the world, and I really feel like all of that energy is super contagious. Like whether it's negative energy or positive energy, I think like whatever you're putting out into the world, I think you're gonna receive it back as well. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. So I think it's always been important for me, and like I think it's been really cool to kind of see that like bounce back to me as a streamer. Like people will come in like out of nowhere, be like, "Yo, I just wanted to say like this stream like made me feel a lot better today. Like I wasn't having a great day, or like this like made me smile." Like that's kind of like all I wanted like with content and art is to make like a positive impact in the world. Like since I was little, so yeah, it's important.
yeah, it's honestly like really amazing, and that's like it's amazing to have like those morals and things that like those goals that you have. It's not just oh, I'm gonna do this to get money. I'm gonna do this to do whatever. It's to
Mm,
do it so you could try to get the smile on those people's faces, to try to actually like connect with the people that watch you and like your fans and like followers. It's honestly just amazing to try to do that, and that's like kind of the goal that we do, that like we're trying to do, whether it's bring a smile to people's faces, or it's just give people something to do when they're bored. um it's just really fun. And hey, everybody in the chat, welcome. I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. This is our first time having a guest on it, and we're really happy and excited that it is Starksy.
Yep. And also, thank you, Nitro2H, for the follow, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
W.
but yeah, so
So,
anyways, any topics you guys want to get onto, or you guys want to sit around and talk for a little bit, kind of warm
uh,
up and like
like
get
a
used
warm
to it?
up, I guess.
All right, all right. Sharksy, what about you?
Yeah, we can
I
kind of
think
get going with just like I guess um maybe like we can start with gaming, and then we can kind of creep over to like some of the other stuff we talked about.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry.
So, anyways, I feel like let's start it off by asking everybody, how's your guys' day going, or night. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, not only to the viewers but also to you guys as well. I hope you guys are having an amazing day and the rest of your day is amazing.
Oh no,
Uh,
today's going great for me. Today I had to wake up kind of early this morning, which does kind of suck. The reason I had to wake up early is because my father had me do some yard work outside and stuff like that. It's a beautiful day today actually, so today's going pretty well.
yeah,
And I'm here with all of y'all, which is amazing.
it definitely is amazing, having everyone here. I also actually kind of like had to wake up early today. It was recently I've been like busting down like crazy on my work. It's been getting crazy. It's all like big things that I got to do. So,
Yeah, totally.
Like
it
what?
gets it's like big things that I like got to do for my school.
Just
It
Oh, cool.
like
Yeah.
yeah, it gets tough,
I don't know. I feel you. I
but
feel you, man.
yeah.
Like few days I'll just have like a ton of work. Like one time I didn't go to school for like a whole week. It sucks when you don't go to school for a whole week because the next work everywhere. Oh great.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's one of the things that do suck about it.
It's kind of better now because we do got computers. Hopefully, if your teacher posts most things online.
Yeah, that is one of the things that could also go good with it, like not having to sit in the classroom and do everything with everybody, you just get to sit down, chill, relax, work at the comfort of your own home.
Totally. And also, by the way, the real X Mal, I hope I'm saying your name right. I appreciate the follow, bro.
Yeah, it is amazing. Thank you everyone who's like coming in and following,
Yeah.
chatting with us. Even just coming in here watching the stream, it helps us out a lot. Thank you for that. And hey Kenji, what's up? How
What's
are
up,
you?
Kenji?
So anyways, you guys wanna
Yeah.
start getting into gaming
Oh,
and
Yeah, for sure.
all right.
so okay, I wanna know about Charksy about her because I've watched a few of her like I've watched a few about her Twitch channels. Obviously Isaiah
Uh,
brought her in here, so I love to learn like more like what kind of content do you do? Do you just
yeah, for sure. Um, so I kind of like to say that I'm a Fortnite streamer or like a variety streamer with a Fortnite problem, I guess.
okay?
Um, so I started out streaming with like a lot of just chatting content. I literally would be streaming like off of the Wi-Fi from my laptop that I had at the time. This is before I had any kind of gaming setup. I didn't have a desk. I didn't have a gaming chair. There was no PC. I didn't
Dang.
have like headphones. Like I had nothing. I had my laptop.
So you
And I
really
would
did
literally,
you really
yeah.
did just start from zero at
No,
that
I
point.
did. I started from zero, and I think I was using like for my software. It wasn't even like OBS. It was like this like Twitch beta or something.
Oh man.
Um, yeah, so I literally would be
Oh,
streaming like I'd be like on my floor or I'd be like just chatting like in my bed with like my laptop propped up on like a bunch of pillows or like a shoe box and a pillow, and I would just like chat like there were like 100 people in there, and I would just go and go and go and I'd stream for hours, and then like eventually I started doing like some Among Us or like some like throwback games. I did a
Okay.
little like Valorant. But yeah, I grew up gaming like with my dad and my brother, so a lot of PS2, GameCube, like Dark Cloud, Jack and Daxter, Gauntlet. I would game like kind of
GameCube
on
was a
my
whole vibe.
own. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. So
Okay.
like I've always kind of been a gamer, like through I guess my dad. And yeah, and like when the pandemic hit, I was like acting professionally in Boston at the time, doing a lot of stage work. And so like all the theaters closed, and I was like, well, now I feel like I need an outlet like creatively, and like I still want to be like entertaining, and like I want to be like working and like doing something like that fulfills that kind of need I have. And
Okay.
then I learned about Twitch in 2020, and I literally started streaming with whatever I had, and I slowly kind of
Oh
built
yeah,
up my
totally.
setup from there.
Yeah.
And plus 2020 was a big year for like streaming, content creation, and everything. Like, because everyone was stuck inside. Like there's really we were stuck. We had nothing to do. So what did everybody do?
Yeah.
Just go on Twitch, making
Yeah.
content.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I feel like it's also like definitely something where people started like blowing up and people started
Oh
trying
yeah,
new
totally,
things.
totally.
Right. There
That's
was like, so
also
much time that like
Yeah.
everyone all of a sudden had. And it was interesting to see everyone turn to gaming again, you know, really like because I feel like a lot of people had kind of I don't know, like obviously not everyone stopped, but I think a lot of people kind of like took a pause or like, you know, not everyone can game when, you know, the 9 to 5, let alone the commuting on top of it. I mean, it's so time consuming.
Yeah,
So
plus
like it was fun to see like that world kind of explode again when we did have this like pause in the kind of day to day of society.
Oh
yeah, it
yeah,
was really
definitely.
crazy.
COVID was something else. That's all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, Roiki, I hope I'm saying your name right. What's up?
That's Roki.
Oh,
Rocky, what's up?
glad to have
Nitro,
you
what's
here.
up? Kenji, what's up? The real mm,
The real X
X
Maui.
Yeah,
We good.
everyone here, you know, thank you for coming in. You know, it's awesome having you guys.
Listen, okay, if I
Um
mispronounce your name, I'm really sorry, guys. Okay,
yeah, same with me, you
I'm
know.
not the best. Okay.
Most of the people here, it's mainly CHARKSIE'S, you know, CHARKSIE'S community. So just
Yeah,
anybody here, thank you, and it's awesome having you.
yeah. I'm glad to have all of you guys here.
W.
Yeah, it is awesome just having everyone here and seeing everyone here.
Yeah. What's up? What's up? 3JCs.
So
Anyways, so I'm glad to hear a bit about you, about like your backtrack, kind of how you all started Twitch and stuff like that.
Yeah. Which was definitely interesting. And I feel like it's been like a crazy time because like I like learned about TikTok and then
Oh
I
yeah.
like from TikTok learned about Twitch and I was like what even is this? Like I literally hadn't even heard of it. So then like a few months later I started streaming in the summer of 2020. And then yeah, eventually I bought my own PC. It was a little pre-built from Best Buy and you know, like an actual pair of headphones and kind of started getting it a little bit more up and running. But yeah, it's definitely been interesting and like kind of crazy to see like the growth that's come like over time. I feel like it's like not the easiest platform to grow on. Um,
Oh no,
but yeah,
no.
it's been really cool and like I love it and definitely like consider it my home base.
All right, that's
yeah.
awesome to hear, man.
And also, Kenji, you know, I don't know if you're still in here or not, but you know, it is, you know, all right, man. You don't gotta say sorry for not being able to stay in. You know, you tuned in. That's all that matters, man. You know, just thank you for coming in. If you're not able to join back, it is all good. Don't worry about it. But nice having you. Simp Shady, what's up?
What's up,
Wait,
Sim
yeah,
Shady?
Simp Shady.
Loving the emotes, man.
Loving everyone's emotes. Everyone's emotes are awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, they all
Trixie,
are.
are these your emotes?
Yeah, not the like little bit like baby thing that he displays regularly, but the like cats, the Nessie, the bear, the Kermit is Roki's. He's another Fortnite
Okay,
creator. But
okay.
yeah,
They're all great. That's all I gotta say. They're super
love you.
adorable.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
All of the emotes, whether it's, you know, yours, other people's, you know, they're all amazing. You know, we're just here for a chill time. We're here to just have fun, talk about random things.
Yep.
Um, we're here to, you know, ask. We're here to ask Trixie, you know, some questions about like how she got her interest with gaming, how,
Mhm.
you know, some later in the podcast, you know, possibly get to, you know, paranormal activity, you know, that any of us had. You know, it gets crazy. It's gonna get crazy, you know. Just sit down, enjoy, get some snacks, relax, and yeah.
Jesus, Sharksy, you got so many emotes. Holy crap.
Oh, I
You got
love
you
my
got you got a
emos.
lot. I mean,
Very seriously. I feel like the emo game is super important, especially
oh,
because,
oh
like,
yeah.
I don't know, like, if people sub to you, like, yeah, they get ad-free viewing, but, like, the emo is, like, the big thing that sells it, you
No,
know?
no, that I hear that a lot about streamers too, because like
Yeah.
when it comes to like subscription, giving people like they want you want people to feel like they're part of like a club, is what they say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I feel like it definitely, like, is, like, part of the community. I think it's, like, also important, like, we've had like I like to take into consideration what they want. So like I'll be like what emotes do you guys like? Like tell me what we're missing. Like do you want more animated? Like what are we after?
Dang, okay.
So like the community actually recently just picked this little dancing cat that Nitro posted. That was like a community pick from like a few days or what was that? Like a week or two ago we picked that one out together. But yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, it really gets, crazy, and you know, we were talking about it like how content goes, and how like a lot of things could get crazy in
Mm-hmm.
good and bad ways, It can get crazy where all of a sudden you start blowing up, it can get crazy where it's just like it just changed the entire vibe of whatever stream you're doing. There's like so many things that could happen, and it's all unpredictable. You're never gonna predict like if you blow up, if you all of a sudden like your channel starts like
Yeah.
going down. You'll never be able to predict any of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you have to go with the flow sometimes, and it's definitely something where you gotta actually listen to your viewers, and eventually we will actually get commands to where you guys could, check out, like, get the Discord. You guys could, you know, uh, check out our YouTube. Right now, our YouTube is actually in our bio, where we usually post the raw content to our, podcast sessions. And we're starting to do every now and then gaming content, like every other week, and it's gonna get more. This is a new podcast, so we're just going with the flow right now. Gonna start. We're gonna start going into it, do more, and just hope it goes well.
Hey, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'm down. I'm down to do anything with Isaiah too, and like most of the time he mainly makes up kind of ideas like this too. Like I sometimes make ideas about that, but he's good. He's good with his brain.
I mean, all right, maybe in the podcast session, but like we don't talk about like outside the podcast because my brain ain't the best.
What? Okay,
It's
calm down.
no, like I ain't talking like that. I'm talking like I make dumb choices, dude. Like I don't mean dumb choices
Like
like life
what?
changing. I mean like so for example, I have a dirt bike, all right,
Oh,
Oh,
and when I first
okay.
got it working,
no, no.
there's something with the throttle messed up where it, like idle too high, and I still continue to try to ride it.
Oh,
So I ended up going
No one
onto a
got
wheelie,
hate.
went down, and I went over the handlebars.
Oh,
oh crap.
That's an example. I was in like an open parking lot that's like just like right in front of my house because there's like a little clubhouse, and uh there's that there's wood pallet laying next to the fence. I was going kind of fast on a sharp turn. Front wheel kind of went on the pallet, and my shin banged against the wood pallet. Or my shin banged against the wood pallet. So that's another thing that I do. Not really the best decisions. And another time, I again, this all happened within like 2 weeks of having the bike, or actually
Two
like
weeks?
riding.
Wow. That's
Because
crazy.
I'm dumb. I'm
are
done
you
with it.
wearing a helmet when you're riding this thing, or
Oh
like
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. Like I have protection gear. I have protection
You
gear.
better, bro, because you
The
about
first the first
like
time I didn't.
tail?
The first time I didn't
to
though.
first time you did it.
Uh, so my knee got a little messed up, but that's it. Um,
Oh crap.
shit. Uh, but yeah, I gotta get like shin guards because shin guards like a big thing if you're doing like bikes and stuff.
Oh,
Apparently,
really?
Yeah, actually, there's like so many things that you could actually like hear shins on, whether it's crashing. Like for example, there's little stands like where you would put your feet, like footrest. So you can actually ride it, and your feet are just going to be like hanging down. For example, if you were to crash, sometimes your foot would go down and actually like bang against that, or if you're happen to be riding by a wooden pallet, possibly bang your shin on it. Um, you know,
Ow.
just like a lot of things that could happen. So you need like elbow pads, you need knee pads, definitely a helmet, and like if you're in any two-wheeled motorized bike or just like any two-wheeled motorized, vehicle, uh, especially if it's like open, you want to have
Mm.
something to go over your eyes. So especially if it's like a dirt bike or something, because it's meant to be ridden on like tracks and stuff. So there's gonna be dirt flying everywhere, getting your eyes. Not really good if you're going fast.
Could I do so? Like, I wear glasses. Could I like get like goggles or something that go over my glasses and have like 6 eyes? Like, how does that work for the like blind people?
I'm not necessarily sure. I think that might actually work because the ones I have, it's like a styrofoam or it's like a foam thing that goes around your eyes. So it's like still really breathable. It's and it's like soft on your face and it's not gonna like make any marks. So it'd possibly work because I know like headsets, for example, like I have a Turtle Beach headset right now. It's like a soft material that makes it to where it's friendly for eyes.
Hmm.
But I think it might work with the size of it. It might actually like go around the glasses actually.
Oh, cool.
Um,
I would hope it'd work like that too, because like, come on, you got if think about someone who's blind who wants to ride a dirt bike with
yeah.
protection, you know.
But like there's also things where like you could also probably buy things for that. But, like also I bought the dirt bike off a marketplace, so it was working,
Marketplace,
but
like what
through
marketplace?
like Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, but like through us actually getting it to the house, it ended up getting something messed up with the throttle, so that's why it was idling too high because it was working perfectly fine when we got it. Um, but there's like no oil in it, so I had to do an oil change. There's a fuel line where it goes from the actual gas tank to the carburetor. So I had to change that, change the fuel filter. I had to put an air filter on it because there's no air filter. So there's like a lot of things that was wrong with it.
Jeez.
And yeah, I also need to get new spark plugs because the spark plugs aren't the best. Um, so there's a lot of things that need to be good with it, but it works perfectly fine now. But spark plugs are gonna be a new investment on it.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, totally.
What does a spark plug do? What is that?
So the spark plug basically like emits a spark which actually like lights the fuel, so
Oh.
it actually gets it running.
Oh, so pretty important.
Yeah, it's
Maybe necessary.
give or take one of the more important things because without it,
Gotcha.
it's not gonna start. You know,
Okay.
because it's what like gives that spark to actually. But yeah.
I was picturing like I don't know, like a little thing on the sides that like shoots out like little like not like fireworks, but like little like a sparkler like the 4th of July, like maybe sticking out from the
Oh
wheels, just like for flair,
yeah.
a little dazzle, a little
Yeah, no, I'm
razzle.
I'm not really going for like flare on it.
Okay, okay.
I will say like those decals that people get, like the little plastic that goes over
Yeah.
parts, like stuff like that. That could be for show, but it could also like help you protect yourself because for
Mhm.
example, it goes over the exhaust, which the
Oh,
exhaust gets really hot. It gets really hot, especially if you're running it for a while.
okay.
I was running it down like fourth gear, which is like the highest mine goes. Um, so it was heating up a lot and I scooted back on the bike a little too much and burnt the back of my leg on the exhaust. So that was fun.
Oh, what'd you do? Like aloe vera? Like how do you even like? Was it bad?
Uh, it hurt more like the day. It just stung a little bit.
Oh my
But I did
god.
also have like a fast reaction, like get
Yeah.
up. Um,
Jeez.
surprisingly though, because yo, Shagatron, what's up? Nice, nice of you to tune in. Hope you pronounced the name right. But like, you know, womp womp. Yeah, definitely a womp womp situation. For that.
Wow.
Uh, it gets crazy.
Yeah.
You know, not only is off road, but on road bikes are very like dangerous. They're like one of the more dangerous ones.
Oh, absolutely they are. There's like no way. I feel like even with motorcycles that are like really high quality and like nicely built, because at the end of the day, it's like you're still, you're out there with the big cars and the big trucks, and you hear all those like crazy horror stories. So I always get super nervous of them.
Yeah, because really all it takes is like one little slip up, and with cars, you'd run over like a small rock or whatever, it's good. But like with the bike, you know, there's only two wheels, so if one of them goes out, then the other one's gonna mess up. Uh, I'm not like saying they're worse than electric motorbikes or electric scooters, but like what I mean is just motorized like motorized things in general gets kind of iffy. Like
Yeah.
electric scooters and motorbikes as well, they're also like electric motorbikes, they're also like really dangerous too. I'm not I meant like they're worse than cars. Like, you're gonna get more damage to your body, rather than a car, because like all it takes is like hit a pothole or hit a
Yeah.
pebble, you know, and you're flying, especially if you're going like way too fast. Uh,
Mhm.
it's like it gets crazy sometimes, you know, and it gets bad sometimes too. It's so like
Hmm.
yeah, or even like a driver not paying attention. And yeah, man, I know I wasn't
Yeah.
like getting too serious about it. I was just saying, like what would go on, and
Well, I also think like with dirt bikes and stuff, like I feel like typically those are, you take them to like a little spot and you kind of run around your trail and it's like there's no other vehicles. Like even though I feel like
yeah,
motorcycles are of course like more like a little like, thicker and can like take a bigger hit. I feel like the danger with those is that like you're taking those in a space where it's like there's cars, there's 18 wheelers, like there's like kind of all these other like very large things that you're near that are also going extremely fast. So I mean,
yeah,
obviously they like all have their pros and cons, but I think like the extra like hey, the motorcycle is going to be next to all these other big boys, whereas I feel like the dirt bike. I mean, like given a lot of those, like you can take some of those things on the road, right? Like if you got like a little plate on that, I've seen people take like all these little tinky dinky like electric
yeah,
scooters, like, and they take them on the big roads, which is like I feel like I'd be so scared to do that.
yeah. Like even with dirt bikes, you know, like motocross the sport, I think it's actually like pretty cool. Um, it's definitely cool to see like what kind of tricks you could actually do on those things, and
Mm-hmm.
the jumps you could do, the different tracks you go on. But like what I was saying, like with the dirt bike, uh, see, I don't have a car, which I was actually saving up for one. Then I got the opportunity to get the dirt bike, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, sure, let's do it. Um, and the only place I would go, because like I'm in the country, so there's like one center where it has all the stores, restaurants, whatever, where like anybody would work.
Okay.
So really, all I do is just like drive 5 minutes down and be good. So I'd
Mm.
probably do that. Um, and like gas station too is only like 2 minutes down. So that's probably what I do, and I'd also probably drive through like neighborhoods and stuff to get there even safer than.
Yeah. That's not far, but they do say that most accidents happen within like a very close proximity of your home because that's when you feel most comfortable on the roads. You're like less likely to like pay attention and like
That's
this and that, right? Like most of them
that's
happen
really
in your
fair.
house,
Yeah.
which is super scary.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, like I am most comfortable definitely riding down my street, but I still like
Yeah.
do it carefully.
Yeah.
Um don't get me wrong, I go max speed on my street because it only goes like 40. But
Mhm.
like I'll make sure I'm constantly like scanning ahead. Um, I know
Mhm.
like where, because I've also had to walk down my street many times, while like getting off the bus or whatever. So I know where like all the potholes are, where like or like the little bumps in the road. So I also know like to watch out for that.
Hmm.
Like for example, there's a small turn in my street. No, it's just a straight street, but like a small turn. It doesn't go off into multiple different streets. It's just like one street, houses. That's it. Not even like a full on neighborhood. Um, yeah, I do understand about the limits. People don't. That's again like why I'd actually like, be very cautious on like how I'm doing it. And
Mhm.
oh yeah, for sure they do. And it's even it's even worse like where I am, because my main road, like the main road to actually get to those places, nobody like drives safe. There's so many accidents that happen there. There's been cars on fire.
Wow.
Uh, like throughout the entire street, you'll see so many tire marks, and like it gets
Mhm.
crazy. So I'd like make sure it's on a time of day where not many people are there, like definitely not rush hour or anything like that.
Yeah,
So
people get kind
it'd
of
be
crazy here. Like people do like road racing here, and like I'm not from Texas. Like I'm from little like Connecticut. So like when I first saw that happen, I was like a like oh wow, like this is a real thing. But be like how dangerous. Like there's all these other cars in the road, and like yeah, there's like big highways here where like the speed limit's like 80 or whatever, but like they're still going way beyond that, driving like actual maniacs. Like I've seen it happen. I'm just like, this is
yeah,
wild.
Oh
Or
yeah,
even something like as
totally.
stupid as like people just like not using their blinker. I'm like, it takes one time of like someone to like you left your blinker on or like you forgot to use it. Like it just takes one moment of like someone assuming someone's going one way and they're not for like something bad to happen. I think people like
yeah,
don't take it seriously because it's like so small and like when you're used to driving it becomes so like natural and like secondhand and you get like too comfortable. And I think like the danger lies within like being too comfortable in a situation where like you could get very hurt. I always get so nervous about cars. I don't know why. Like I always have felt just like very like I'm like a good like safe driver, but I've always felt just like very like aware of that.
yeah, definitely. And like this also to answer Jagger's question, and also like answer some facts about like, oh yeah, when you're most comfortable like close to your house.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, back when I lived at like my old place, we were just like trying to exit the neighborhood, and we were driving safe, but like someone came out, you know, ran past the stop sign, and it was like big company truck compared to like our just like regular car.
Yeah.
And by like company truck, I don't mean like a semi truck. It was like an actual truck, not a pickup truck, but like bigger, you know, like
Yeah.
one of the bigger trucks.
Oh,
And we like T-boned them, so it
dang.
gets, yeah, it
Mhm.
gets really bad. And what didn't help is like something was wrong with the brakes, because like my mom slammed on the brakes, and like it still didn't really stop how it was supposed
Oh
to.
gosh, yeah.
So yeah, so it was bad. I was in the car. My little brother was in the car, which he was probably about maybe four-ish. So yeah, it
Mhm.
definitely gets bad. You
Yeah, no,
know,
for sure. Scary
um,
indeed.
and
All
like
right.
some
Well,
people really, really get crazy with it. Especially like motorcyclists. I'm not saying it's all motorcyclists. But like a lot of the times, the cause for those accidents are actually those motorcyclists, because they're always like going full speed, like
Mhm.
cutting cutting cars, going in between cars, like with a tight squeeze.
Mhm. And
And
it's
you
legal
even
in other
see,
countries to like for them to like ride that line. Like it's like legal like in some spots like in Europe where they can just like go in between the cars and kind of like weave in where they're like technically not like spots.
yeah,
Which is crazy too. Mhm.
yeah, that is very true. We have
Yeah.
at my house we have kind of like a little area over here, kind of where we get out to go to like the main city. We kind of live like a few minutes away from like the actual town that I live in, you know, from like all the stores and stuff. So we have to drive over there.
Mhm.
And so there's this little area, kind of like I don't know how you call it. I don't drive. I don't really drive a lot. I don't know many rules. I mean, but there's this little
Yeah.
area here that isn't very monitored. There's probably I bet you there's probably no cameras that check it or officers or anything.
Mhm.
So at night, during middle of the night, like 3 a.m., some people are crazy on that road. Like
Yeah.
you could just hear them drifting and driving, and it sounds like they're drunk and shit. And also there's also like a sign that like I think shows like, you know, left or forward
Mhm.
turn. People always hit that sign, and it gets knocked down every time.
Dang. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
It
like going back to Sam talking about like the what ifs, I think like the best thing I ever learned about like when I was first learning like in like my little driver's ed class like all those years ago, was this idea of, like defensive driving. Like always assume that like
Yeah.
someone near you is gonna
yeah.
do something stupid and like be ready for them to make the error. Um, because it might
Oh
not be
yeah,
you, right? Like
definitely.
it's like what if they cut you off? Like, you know what I mean? Like just like always kind of being like prepared and like scanning ahead and like being aware. But I think it comes down to like that idea of like defensive driving.
Yeah, because even with like my driver's ed class, I also learned like even if you're just learning or you're very experienced, you're just as much in danger as everybody else.
Hmm.
You know, um, there's always going to be what ifs. There's always going to be people that are not driving right,
Yeah.
and there's also like the best thing for those what ifs. If there's ever like someone that you see that's driving weird, because they could be under the influence or they could just be like whatever, they could just not be as good of a driver. You want to like try to stay behind them, especially if they're like swerving, constantly changing
Yeah.
speeds,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's basically like how you want to drive Nitro. Just like assume everyone else is crazy psychos.
Hmm.
And defensive driving, just try to assume what's gonna happen before it happens.
Huh. So Sam said I failed my test because I was driving too cautious. So I kind of feel like I feel like everything in life is about balance. So like I
Yeah,
wonder if
definitely.
because if you're going too cautiously, right, then like that can become dangerous in the sense of like maybe you're not going like the proper speed limit or like maybe you're like going too slowly in an area where people are expecting you to kind of be going like at pace with traffic, right? So like there are moments where I think overcompensating too much can also be dangerous in addition to like people doing the other extreme.
Oh yeah, totally. We have a lot of people here who are like that. I live in Washington State. A lot of people here, they are kind of overcautious at times, which I mean
Yeah.
is normal because maybe most people we have here are like kind of older drivers and like, you know, people who are really young and maybe just got their license and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So they're kind of like a lot of people drive kind of slow here, which throws us off because we used to live in we originally lived in Phoenix, Arizona. And most people there are pretty crazy drivers, like, you know,
Mhm.
running red lights, getting in accidents all the time. You know, not great things. So we're kind of used to like, you know, driving pretty fast down things, not like illegally fast, but like, you know, kind of
Right.
faster. And then you get all these kind of like slow people who like it's half of the time it's kind of hard to see them. We almost
Mhm.
get in accidents half the time because of that.
Because it's too slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
interesting
because
to hear. Yeah, no, you go. Sorry.
and we also there's also been a ton of times we've almost gotten in accidents because people forget their blinkers are on. Like for
Yes.
example, we'll turn. Let's say we're about to turn left in like a four way. What are those called?
Mhm.
4-way intersection. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, four intersections. You mean like
Yeah,
where two roads like join in, like or like cross each other?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think it has
that's four-way
stop signs
intersection.
though. It's like four stop signs,
Oh yeah,
or maybe
that's
not
like
stop
still a
signs.
four-way
I'm not sure
intersection.
what
It's
they're
just like a
called.
little different than.
I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but sometimes people will have their blinker to turn right, and then you think, okay, they're turning right, you know, or maybe not. Yeah, but they're turning right. They're not going forward or anything like that. Next thing you know, you go left. They're going forward,
Yeah.
and it's like that we've almost gone in so many accidents like that. It's horrible.
Mhm.
There's also things like being too defensive, of a driver, like like Shagatron said, it's also, you know, just as bad if not worse than doing speed limit or like a tad over because like, you know, people are gonna expect you to be going at least the speed limit
Right.
and they're gonna be going faster, or since you're going slower, it's gonna
Mhm.
slow down traffic, people get road rage. It's gonna be people like people just going the speed limit while you're going slower because you're like too scared to like speed up. Or how could you deal with
Um,
driver's anxiety?
that's a good question.
I feel like it just take a lot of practice in like a place that you're good with. Like for me, I did it in like a parking lot, or I do it in a parking lot. You know, like do it in an empty parking lot or something. Get used to it, or possibly, you could also possibly set out like examples. Like for example, what my cousin did. Like no, you could set out little obstacles that you like go around. Stuff like that. What my cousin did, he used himself as the obstacle. So like if I didn't, so like I had to make sure I was safe. So he had me do that, but obviously I wasn't like going fast or anything. Like he was having me go slow. But he did that so I learned like, hey, it's not just a regular obstacle. It's not like a cone or something. So
He's like,
so
use
if I
me.
he was like, hey, I got you.
Yeah.
My
Um.
God.
Wow.
So it made sure that like I was being extra safe because I knew that if I did mess up, it's not just ruining a piece of plastic, it's ruining my cousin, you know?
Bar is so high. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just like may, put a little scratch in the paint, may, mess up the cone that you spent like $10, $15 on. No, you're gonna mess up my life.
I think
You
like
know?
I had really bad driver's anxiety. Like I grew up, so when I learned how to drive, I was like in Connecticut, like 16, I got my license after having my permit. And like I was like great driver, like very comfortable, like very calm, very relaxed. And then like moving to Boston, I didn't want to have my car because like parking in Boston is a freaking nightmare. There's nowhere for things to go. They have a great public transportation system, like etc. So then like I didn't have my car for a while and I was taking like the T. And then like moving to LA, I found that like I got really bad driver's anxiety because like it had been a while since I was like consistently driving and I was in like a brand new city, which was like super super stressful. And I feel like like I wish I had pushed myself to get out of the house more and just like face it head on. Um, because like I feel like I got over that eventually by just like then I moved to Texas and just like the more often that I was driving and like going to certain places, like okay, like say I need to go to the grocery store, like maybe like I get comfortable with that drive and then like maybe I'm gonna add like one little stop that's like close by. So it's like I'm slowly getting used to the area, like at my own pace, but like finding that comfortability and like your home base is like I'm familiar with this area, I feel like decreases that anxiety because it's like okay, I know where I am. I know the turns. I don't have to constantly be looking at my GPS. And I think that helped me break out of it again because like I used to be so comfortable and then like literally like verging on like agoraphobia, like I don't want to drive, like moving to LA, which I had to get over when coming to Texas because it's like I just like couldn't even do that here, you know?
Yeah. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
really scary moving different places. Like,
Oh yeah.
um, for example, like in my old neighborhood or at my old place, it was really chill, but like over here there's constantly accidents and like on the main road to act where you'd actually get
Mhm.
anywhere that you're trying to go, you know, there's no street lights,
Yeah.
there's no stop signs, there's no stoplights. So it's all dark,
Hmm.
at night it's pitch black. The only thing you see is headlights and all it takes is someone not using their headlights. So,
Hmm.
there's so much risk in that,
Yeah.
and it's honestly scary to start doing that. And Jagger, no, don't worry about it, dude. We're when we do a podcast, we're not doing it just so we could talk about our topics and get it over with. We're here just so we could chat, about anything. Topics are the main things that we do talk about, but we're always down to talk about just random things, any questions anybody has, Um, even if you like were to check out our other podcast on YouTube that we have posted, um, because we just download the footage here and upload it raw.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at that, you'll even see like we get off topic a lot. Whether it's from chat or it's just us, we get off topic all the time. And we can care less about getting off topic. If anything, it makes it even more fun. Um,
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
it's really fun to sometimes get off topic and talk about it. And that's something that makes a podcast. Um, not just talking about only the things that you mention, but also, you know, talk about random things that you just randomly think of in the middle of it, because you're not always going to think about these ideas before you start the podcast, and sometimes you'll have random ideas. And, I personally love interacting with the community, and whether it's my own or another person that's like with their community tuning in. For example, Charksy, a lot of you guys are from her community, and again, we truly, welcome you guys, and we're truly thankful for you guys coming in. But yeah, you know,
Yeah, absolutely. So Isaiah,
so
earlier we were talking about.
what's up?
Remember?
I do not remember, dude. I am like dumb.
Okay, it's okay. I like driving in snow. Man, snow driving is something else. Let me tell you that. Have you guys drove in snow before?
Oh yeah. The
Dude,
snow I feel like
I
is okay. It's the ice that I'm scared of.
yeah,
Personally.
that
Yeah.
I personally never driven in snow, but my parents have, and they'll tell you the first thing. The ice is probably the scary part, and as well as sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
Then that gets scary. They say.
Drift.
One thing I have heard is in Alaska. I don't know too much about Alaska, but I used to go to therapy, and my therapist actually told me a little bit about Alaska because she lived there. And Alaska is usually pretty like snowy all the time, right? Like
Yeah.
majority of its season is pretty snowy, pretty cold, and all this stuff. So apparently in Alaska, you're actually allowed to get your permit at 14 years old.
Oh wow.
And the reason for that is because
Wow.
they want people, or I guess kids, to get used to driving for an extra year because of snow
Yeah.
and regular driving and all this stuff for an extra year.
Hmm.
So that's why you're able to actually get your permit at 14 in Alaska. Everywhere else, I'm pretty sure it's probably like 15.
Jeez.
Yeah. Jagger, I've been to like a couple of those like organized haunted houses. Um, like, but I have actually been to a actual haunted house, like a house that was actually haunted with like actual demons, ghosts, stuff like that. And we'll actually get into that. Um, but like I've been to once. It's been like little tense though because like we've never actually gone to actual stuff. Yeah, I've seen stuff like for real, and experienced stuff. Both houses that I've lived in have had activity too, so
Mhm.
it gets crazy.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Um,
totally.
so
Okay.
Charksy, you did. Sorry, Joshy, what were you trying to say, man?
Okay. I'm just gonna use the bathroom real quick. That's all. But I'll be back
All
in
right,
about
yeah,
like
for
I'll be
sure.
back in about like 5 minutes. Okay. You guys hit it off.
All right, for sure. So yeah, no Ouija board for me either.
No, definitely not.
Um,
Ugh.
right now while Josh is gone, we'll just like chat. We'll talk with chat. We'll just talk about whatever. And then when he gets back, we'll go into like one of the main topics. That's also like one of the good things about just going off topic though. Like if one of us has to go to do something, we're able to talk more on that topic instead of the main topic that we all came up with. Or yeah, What's my name? My name is Isaiah. The other one is Joshy. We're both friends, and we've talked about, um, and we're the ones that actually came up with the podcast, and we have a friend that actually, or I have a friend that, made our background here. His Instagram is actually in the bio if you guys want to check him out. His art is genuinely amazing. Another friend who made our profile picture, and another one who made our banner. Um, you know, we've had, yeah, Quad Launch, that's you. He's the one that made the background. His art's amazing. He does a lot of art. And Quad Launch, thank you for, tuning in, man. Thanks for being here. But yeah. Uh, so I'm Isaiah from the Antisocial Podcast. The other dude, his name's Joshy from the Antisocials Podcast. And we're just in this together. If you tune into any other podcast where it's just two people, it's gonna be him and I. Um, but basically, that's what made me make a podcast. Is I Yeah, Shagatron, also thank you for the follow, man. Sorry, I didn't really see that. But thank you again. It really helps everyone following, everyone tuning in, chatting, it's really awesome. This is honestly the most active our chat or activity on our stream has ever been. Um, but you know, what made us make the podcast is it was a 3 a.m. idea. I thought about it. I've always wanted a podcast. Um, sorry about that. I didn't know. Um, but what made what made me really think about the podcast is I saw all these other podcasts. Like there's a few podcasts that I actually watch clips on, and one that I actually like watch. Um, yes, that does count as activity, man. Amazing, best activity we get on here.
That emote actually was banned on Twitch for like 6 to 8 months. I'm not even kidding.
Wait, actually though,
They banned that emote because they said it was too sexual. It fell under the sexual content TOS, and they removed it from my
oh
channel for
damn,
like over half a year. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
damn,
Look at it.
Bro.
yeah, that is crazy.
I'm like, first of
It's
all, it's
really
a Loch Ness monster. It's not even a real animal. It's not a human, and there's no like butt, like crack, tail. Like you know what I mean? It's like a blob. It's literally a blob.
yeah.
Crazy.
It's just color. It's literally like a colored blob moving around.
Yeah, just shaking. Super funny.
But there's but what made us like start the podcast is I was seeing all these other podcasts, and I've already wanted to do one for a while, and my older brother has a podcast. So, and I wanted to get on his. He hasn't been able to yet though because he hasn't been really active because he's been busy with his personal life. But I want I thought of the podcast because of all the other people doing podcasts and just like inspiration. And Joshy and I, we talked a while, like we went a little bit without having communication. We finally like talked again, and it was a 3 a.m. idea, like literally 3 a.m. Uh, I was up, he was up. We often call and talked about it. We're like, hey, let's do a podcast. It'd be dope. And we talked
Yeah.
everything into the future. We talked about like how we do everything when it comes to money, like what to work with the podcast, and like we talked about possibly getting a special guest on here, and we manifested it. We got CHARKSIE on here. Honestly, best first guest I could have ever asked for. She is
Totally.
honestly amazing. You know, just yeah, 3 a.m. thoughts with the boys are legit,
For real,
Jagger.
bro.
They
Honestly,
really are.
man.
And we spent a few weeks thinking about it, and we finally got it. Working. We got the background. We got the banner. We
Oh
got
hell
the
yeah.
profile picture. You
When he
know,
mentioned let's do podcast, we got to work right then and then. We got to work.
that night I stayed up till like 7 a.m. You know, working on the server, which the server still is like kind of, not still needs a lot of progress, but um, just basically it's the template for the server right now. That's really what it is, just the basic stuff. Um, and if you guys did want to possibly join the server, I could put it in the chat. Uh, but that's basically what it was. Just a 3 a.m. idea. I saw a lot of people doing it, and I wanted to do it for a while. I've always wanted to do like content creating, and I thought, hey, I've always been turd, no, told. I've always been told, mm, I'm a yapper, so like podcast might be good.
Hell yeah.
So I also do love like gaming, so that's like another thing that we're doing is we're gonna have the podcast series, and we're also gonna have a gaming series where we just play random games. 1 week we'll do the podcast, next week we'll do gaming. Um, for the next couple weeks, so we may be doing podcasts because I do not have my stuff for gaming right now. Uh, but it'll just be left and right on gaming and podcasts, so we have time to think about the podcast, time to think about what game we're trying to do, and you know, and we're constantly trying to make improvements. Um, and I'm constantly trying to find like special guests that could get into our podcast, whether it's other creators, it's any friends that we have, or any random person we find out on the street. Uh, really, it's it's just we're trying to find people, grow our community, make it better, make people's day, give them something that they could listen to while they're just doing whatever, or actually just like sit here and listen. Um, you know, yeah, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're just being ourselves, and just working on it,
And listen,
and
guys, listen. We want to make everybody here happy and entertained. Okay, that's what we're here for.
yeah, exactly,
We don't.
exactly. That's
We're
why
not.
we're
We're not
here.
here to. We're not here to waste your time. We want you to have, the best experience ever. Maybe not ever, but you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
Mm.
yeah. If not, oh well. Like for example, uh, last podcast episode, didn't do so well, but we're still going. That's just bump in the road. Maybe it. We learned from that. We learned that hey, maybe people don't really like that topic. Maybe that topic doesn't really bring much attention, and we go on to new things. And it's honestly nice to do that. And you know, yeah, bad day, not a bad life. That's actually awesome. Shagatron, like that. That's amazing. You know. Um. And I will in just a minute. I'll put the link to our Discord server in, so if you guys wanted to join, you can. Um, but anyways, that's basically it, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. Really,
Following our dreams.
yeah,
Yeah, that's dope. And I also like I think about this a lot as like someone who streams every day. Like it's crazy like when you go live, like, like it's you. Like you're in there and like for everyone to click, like no matter what number it is, like to have other people there at all, I feel like it's like such an honor and a blessing, like every day. Um, and then like like you see like these bigger creators with like every single day they start that stream and they started at 0. You know what I mean? And like some people they started with people in there like beforehand. Like I
Oh
think it's just
yeah.
like so cool. But like it does
yeah,
take a ton of time. But like any creator at any point, like could start that stream and like have that day with like the lower numbers. But then the next day, who knows? Like you could have like get hundreds of subs and like it literally is just like it can be that like all over the place. It kind of just like depends on what the world is doing. So you just have to keep like doing you and putting out like the content that you want to put out and feel good about.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And another reason we thought about like the podcast is because podcast is one of the like podcast is one of the things that are also I feel like better to do if you don't have a good setup, because mostly what you need for a podcast is basically just a way to communicate with whoever you're talking to, and obviously any other channel basics like the profile picture, banner, background, all of that. But you also need, just a decent mic, which some people could do with just like
A
a decent
headset
their gaming headset. Yeah, like their gaming headset,
or
or
phone,
which
even.
Mhm.
yeah, or on some occasions, because some phone quality like microphones could be like kind of bad. But like for example, what I'm doing, I'm using my gaming headset right now. And I have a pair of good like wireless earbuds. Um, and it's a thing that also works out because you know you don't need a great PC for it, or like a great console. For example, I'm on Discord on my phone, um, and I'm monitoring the stream on my computer. You know, we're not gaming, so it doesn't take up a lot of frames. It doesn't like take away a lot of frames from our game, or make us lag a lot. Oh, Joshy and I, if it's like it's kind of hard to also do gaming because we live in two completely different regions.
He lives across the whole country.
Mhm.
Yeah, so um, it's like you're Central Standard Time, right?
Mine?
You're like Central, yeah,
Yeah, Western mainly.
yeah. He's Western, I'm Eastern, so like it's completely different regions. So it's like a lot of if we're playing games like, for example, Fortnite, which is what we did for our first gaming
Oh
stream,
man.
but I made a little oopsie and didn't download the stream to upload it. So next gaming stream is gonna be our first one. That was just a trial run. We'll say that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it does make it hard for being competitive. That's why him and I we just play.
It
We
it,
don't
it
do
really does.
competitive.
Cause like, so I don't know if many people know this. There's like a little, it's something called ping in Fortnite. It's kind of like how long it takes for like your information on like your movements, your how fast your gun shoots. The higher of that number you have, the longer it takes for you to pretty much for your game to respawn. And
Yeah, if
so
I'm right.
and so every time I connect to his servers, it's really bad. It makes it so like it's kind of hard to play because it's kind of delayed every time I do something on the game. Whereas if I'm on my servers, it'll be pretty good for me, but for him, it's not going to be very playable.
Yeah. Like with gaming streams though, what we'll most likely do is it'll be on his servers though, because he already has, yeah, even like 30 to 40 ping like kind of starts, sucking a little bit. But that's basically what I play on a normal, like even on my servers. Yeah, CHARKSIE does have some amazing game. Like I've played with her on her streams sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Uh but like, it gets hard with us being in two completely different regions, because he streams because it's either I'm gonna stream on my Xbox and just use the Twitch, basic stuff, or he could stream on his PC and also stream the gameplay directly and use OBS.
Uh huh.
While and so what we like to do is put it on his servers, so because streaming is already slowing his computer down more, and
Right.
like making the ping go higher. So yeah, it's definitely something that we're gonna like look into and work on to actually get better like quality for the gaming content for
Mhm.
sure.
Totally.
We went into paranormal activity like for a second and completely stopped. I just realized that
No, that's all good.
this whole stream's just been a complete vibe.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
totally, man.
honest.
I'm having a great time right now.
Yeah, this stream's honestly like best one we've had. Thank you for everyone for coming
Oh
out
yeah, totally.
and checking it out.
And thank you, Charksy, for tuning in. I know I've probably said it about
Yeah,
3 times now, but
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming in and letting us have this time with you. It was really fun and amazing being able to do this with you. And yeah, so it looks like Shagatron's excited for the paranormal activity stuff. That's like the fifth time they talked about it. So we will
Yep.
actually get into that.
All right, who's going first?
Yeah.
I feel like Charksy, do you want to end off on yours because you told us like a little bit about it.
Oh
So
gosh,
I feel like
yeah,
that'd be a fine finale.
sure.
Josh, you want to start off on like any experiences you may have had?
Experiences I had, I don't have very many paranormal activity experiences. I don't think.
All right.
Only when I was like tiny, like a little child, something
But
like that.
yeah, but that's like when you're, I feel like, most connected to the other side. What do you
Yeah,
mean when you were
that
a
is
child? What
that.
That's
happened?
true. It's like whenever you're younger or when you're older, because like older you're getting closer, so
Yeah, and plus
you know,
a lot of kids, they might come into this like belief, like, oh my god, there's something in there, it's moving. Oh no, wait,
yeah.
it's the wind.
But what happened when you were little?
I can one time when I was one time I was in my brother's room. I think I was just playing a video game. I think I was playing Minecraft at the time. Next thing you know, I hear at the window a knock on the freaking window. I'm like,
Oh hell no.
and obviously
Hell
as a kid, I'm
no.
scared. I'm like, hold on, what's going on here? So then I probably wasn't like that, but I was probably crying and running to my grandma. She goes in there. She's like, "What are you talking about? There's nobody there." Next thing you know, another knock starts banging the window. So
Oh
so now so
hell
now we're
no,
all
dude.
terrified. So we go outside to check out what's going on. Next thing you know, there's nothing there. It was pretty
What the
terrifying.
Still, that's creepy.
I don't know what else happened really other than that because I was also really little and I don't know too much about it. But it was terrifying.
Oh god, Shagatron, I am that oh
Hell no. I do not mess with Ouija boards. If you don't close
yeah,
them the
I
right way, that those stay open. That's a no for
if you
me.
don't
Oh my
even if you
goodness.
do the slightest thing as like taking your finger like off the planchette, you're dead.
Nope, nope,
Not
nope.
actually dead, but not good. Um so I'll go into I'll go into some experiences I've had. Uh there's one time where let's see, have you seen the Hand movie? I don't think so. No, I don't think I've heard of it.
Yeah.
The Hand movie. Hang on, let me Google this real quick. The Hand. Uh, The Hand, 1981. Okay. Bizarre experiences and terrible nightmares plague a cartoonist who lost a hand in a fateful car accident. The hand is not found at the scene of the incident, but soon returns to murder everyone who angers its owner. Okay, that sounds terrifying.
I th I think I may have like seen a part of it, but I left the room before more.
Mm.
Because I remember seeing like a hand crawling around whenever I was younger on a movie. But so there's one time I was laying in bed. I was actually sleeping. I was facing my window. Um, and nothing to do with the window. I was laying down, I woke up because I was sleeping, and then I was about to turn around, like turn on my other side, and all of a sudden in my head, like it's not my voice, it's not like a normal voice that like you'd hear in your head, like if you're like talking to yourself or whatever, it just tells me don't turn around. I I completely froze. I like completely froze. What's up? Yep. Hmm.
Oh man. Oh, and by the way, guys, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but he has a little sister. His name is
Of
Haley. She's
course.
super cute.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aw.
Are you good? Are you good now?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good,
Um,
man.
so it just says don't turn around. And
Mhm.
to this day, like I'm scared to even think about what would happen if I turned around. I'm actually sitting in the area that I would have turned around to. Um, that's like where my desk is. So it's like it's. I don't think I'm dead. I think I'm alive. I'm not sure. I still feel pain, so I think I'm alive.
Mm.
So, oh God, Jagger.
Damn, please.
So,
All right, chat. Let's calm down now.
so nah, Chad's good, dude. What's up? No, those are moms.
That's
Those are
crazy.
moms. You can have them. I'll call her in a minute. Okay. Texting her. I'll text her. Alright, I'll text her whenever I'm done. Okay. Yeah, I will call her when I'm done. Alright, love you.
Now we good
Sure,
now?
I'll keep it in here. Alright.
Oh,
I love you too.
nah.
Best
Almost
day in the
there.
whole world. Alright. Alright, now we're good.
All right, now we're good. Right. I just had to make sure.
So yeah, like I just froze and I just like I was scared to even move, you know? Like I was scared to even like put the blanket over my head cuz you're younger, or even older, bro. The blanket just is your safety, just put it over your head and nothing's going
Oh
to get
yeah,
you.
totally.
You ever feel scared? Put the blanket over your head. You're good.
The only thing I don't like about that is because I don't like doing that because you can't breathe under there.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I usually do it and just like have my nose poking out or something.
But even doing that's scary.
Yeah. Like having any part of your body exposed after experiencing something like that. So that was more of a like mental
Yeah.
encounter. Another kid's coming to my room.
Uh
Yep.
oh.
What's up?
The muffins.
Do you guys have
You
you
brought
have you had
you brought it
nightmares
out there.
before?
Had what?
Nightmares.
Yeah, I used to have like nightmares that would repeat.
There.
Oh shoot, are
It
you
wasn't there.
serious?
It disappeared.
Fun, can you come here real quick? Can you say hi to chat? Say
Oh
hi, chat.
Mm.
No? You don't want to say hi, chat?
dang,
Hi.
bruh. Hey, he don't like chat.
The sign's right
I'm
there.
sorry.
Yeah. It's on the couch.
Alright.
Yeah. It's you.
Alright, so basically what
Isaiah,
happened
I'm
was
just saying this right now. They love your sisters and brother. And
yeah.
brother.
When my older brother used to stream, everybody would love whenever he would stream. No, you can't have gum. You're too young for gum.
The scariest part is when I hear stuff through. When I hear stuff though. Like at one place I went to, we heard scraping on the wall, and this female high pitched getting laughter made. Then a door came inside and got a sign. Oh, that is
Who
terrifying.
are
Bro.
you? That's so scary.
Damn, bruh. I don't like I said, I don't have too many paranormal stories about like stuff like that. My mom did. My mom has a few paranormal stories,
Mm-hmm.
and she's told me that. Like this one time, she used to live in like a pretty kind of like, not so great place, kind of like a pretty, ghetto town.
Thank you.
And I told Isaiah this story before, and so I think there was like this little canal right next to our house, and they're about to go to bed. It was like really late at night, and next thing you know, they hear a woman just crying really loud outside.
Ooh.
It was really scary for her, and plus she was I think she was like a teenager at the time. Everybody heard it though, like everybody in the house. So everybody goes outside, checks the house. Next thing you know, they go to the canal where they hear the really loud screaming. No one's there.
Ooh. Yep.
So I don't know what it is with these people, like, or not people, what it is with these weird things going on. Like me with the window, like something's knocking, and then next thing you know, there's nothing there. or somebody screaming and there's nothing there.
Yeah. I've never had anything like that, like any screaming like that. But something interesting though, like so something about me. I'm an empath. I'm able to like feel sometimes when there's presence, and I'm also able to like feel people's emotions and stuff like that. Now, if you hear a woman crying in the alley, do not
Nah,
approach,
for
dude.
real.
Because like it's either a trap from people trying to murder you, or rob you, or it's a trap for you to get possessed.
Yeah, bruh. Honestly, I don't
But
know
basically,
I don't know what they're thinking, bruh.
yeah, there's also things where I've like hold up.
What the heck?
Um oh so another thing that happened is sorry about the background. Um someone or I was at my grandparents' house and I was laying down, everybody else was sleeping, I was in bed. I I was like watching YouTube on my phone and I look up and there's a lady. And the fact that I know like it was something spiritual is one, my grandmother, she wears like flip flops around the house. I would have heard her like walking, and also the dog would have like went with her. Um, and also it was like the lady was glowing, like I saw it clearly. It's not like I saw a shadow. It was like an actual lady standing at the foot of the bed. It wasn't like a scary lady though. It was because it was pitch black. That's how I know, like because it was like glowing. But it was like pitch black, and I saw the lady. She was probably about like 6 foot, maybe.
Oh man.
And and what happened was I I I saw the lady. She was like like a really light blue dress. Um, like a very light shade of blue, and she was just sitting there, like yeah, yeah, like 6 foot. It was probably a little shorter, maybe like 5'10", 5'11", maybe. It was close. Yeah, like
But
a
but
light
she
blue
probably she
aura.
probably she probably looked tall to you though.
Yeah, she did probably look taller than me because keep in mind I was laying in bed and she was like standing on the foot of the bed or at the foot of the bed. But I saw her there and she was just standing there. So I quickly like turned my face down, and that's how I know it wasn't sleep paralysis because like one, I've never experienced it. Two, I don't think that's like type of thing that you'd get during sleep paralysis. It's more like a dark era, you know. Uh
Yeah, I mean that does not sound normal. I mean,
It'll be like gold red.
it sounds normal,
yeah,
but not at the same time. Because
yeah.
I've heard
So
most people
like
talk about sleep paralysis like they just see black figures, which is normal. But a
yeah,
lady,
like that's like the most common
but a
thing.
lady that looks really tall to you in a dress.
Another thing is like little blue orange. You said like a light blue dress. No, it was just like a light blue dress, like almost white, but like a very very little like hue of blue. And
So like
it was
it
it
almost
was
looked
more like
white.
yeah, like it almost looked white, but you could kind of tell it was blue.
Okay.
Um, and and what happened was I another way reason I know it wasn't sleep paralysis is I was able to completely move my body.
Oh
So I
man.
like I like quickly like turned my head into the pillow and just like kept my head there. And eventually, like 10 minutes later, I finally got the courage to look up and it was gone.
Oh.
That was the first
Oh.
time. That was the only time I've ever seen an actual figure. Is you want to count like seeing things out of the corner of your eye, but like I wouldn't. I wouldn't like do that though. Like I wouldn't count seeing something out of the corner of your eye as like an actual figure, but like mainly just looking at something.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I saw my
true.
best friend's great grandpa, like with the light blue aura, was talking to him and his mom. Oh dang. Yeah, like, and another thing, there was I was in St. Alex St. Augustine. Blah, 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 St. Augustine. Blah, 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 blah. I
Oh
St.
man.
Augustine. And which that's one of like the most paranormal like places because it's like a really old town or like a really old place.
Mhm.
I was staying at a hotel and I had to like sleep on the floor because the beds were taken. I was probably around 10.
Sun was alive.
It was around 10.
I was
Three.
no wait.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know. 10 at the oldest. And I I just heard like knocking on the hotel door. It was like a little, I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this, but like it was like that. And the way I was laying, I was right to where I could just look under the door. There is no shadow there. There's no sound of anybody walking there or walking away. No shadow. It was just a knock.
Mhm.
I don't remember if it was a few knocks or what. And it was like scary because keep in mind I'm like 9, 10, and I see that I'm like no thank you, I don't want this.
Oh
And
man.
and like constantly I was constantly like at my old house. I would always the worst thing I ever had was like doors getting slammed and the toilet getting flushed. Yeah, nobody is there. Yeah, I'm actually gonna get into something about like door getting slammed.
And also,
Uh,
Shagatron shared kind of a little story right here.
yeah. Uh,
Oh,
well,
that's
I saw my best friend's great grandpa like with light blue aura was talking to him and his mom, and his grandma came in, and I was describing what I saw to my friend and mom, and she was like, "Oh, you mean Robert?" And she said his name like rock. This rocking chair started rocking. No, bro. That's when I'm out. That's when I'm out. Whenever like a chair starts rocking, that's when I'm out. And she looked over and smiled and was like, "Ah, it was him." Yeah, that's crazy. No, no, thank you.
that's
But
crazy.
there was another time though. Like I was at my old house. It was me and my older brother home alone, and at this time I couldn't like make my own food, so I had to go into his room. I asked him like, "Hey, can you make me something to eat?" He said, "Yeah." We went out to the kitchen, and like our rooms were where, as soon as you walk out of our rooms, there's a there's the kitchen. So you're walking right out into the kitchen,
Okay.
Go to your bed.
and
Go to your bed.
and what happened was I ended up going to walk back to my room to get something. My light was off. I had no fan on in my room. The AC, I don't think it was on. And I look. Oh yeah, that's creepy, dude. But like, what happened? I'm just going back to my room, and even if the fan or the AC was on, even if the fan or AC was on, it still wouldn't be strong enough to do what the door did because the door like slammed shut. It was completely open, like against the wall, like open. And as I'm walking into the room, just like slams shut, like just a few inches away from my face.
Oh my god.
And
She went to the kitchen.
and I'll I'll say one more because I am kind of like taking over the paranormal activity, and I don't really want to take over. I want it to be like a whole group thing. Um,
You're good.
and also like read some of the comments after. Uh, what happened was, yeah, it's a no, haha, no slamming doors. Yeah, exactly. No slamming doors. I'm out. Um, and also just in that house, I always got a bad vibe. I would always get bad dreams, and Like I'd also have to wake up early in the morning and I'd always hear like doors creaking, and like that sound where like when doors like hit the like striker, like where they'd actually like shut,
Mm.
like kind of like slowly close and hit that. I'd also always hear that. Like it's a little tick sound kind of.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah. I'd always hear that and it was just getting too much. Like it was terrifying. And like I hated staying out like either early in the morning, like without it being day out, even sometimes during day out. Like I hated just sitting there with myself. Um and but anyways, last story of mine for the stream at least is there's one time I was at my grandparents' house. I had to go use the restroom, and how the layout is there's a living room, there's one room which is my grandmother's, and one room that is my grandfather's. And the only reason they only have different rooms is just because they watch different things, they stay up complete like different times.
Yeah.
You know, like my grandmother, she goes to sleep early, and my grandfather stays up late, and they watch completely different like shows, movies, whatever. Um, so basically, you walk in the garage. That's usually the main way people would actually get into the house. On the left, there's multiple different rooms. You go to the right, and then you take like a quick left. There's the hallway that leads to my grandfather's room, and there's a bathroom in there. That's the master bedroom. And if you turn right whenever you like enter the garage, or like enter through the garage, you'll go into the living room. In the
Okay.
living room, there's a futon, and anytime my little sister or like any of us would spend the night, it was my little sister and I. Um, we would like this time it was just my little sister and I. Um, we were out on the futon. I had to go use the restroom. I asked my cousin, I was like, "Hey, do you think you could, like keep an eye on her? Uh, you think you could like listen out for her, just make sure, she doesn't do anything wrong while I go use the restroom?" He was like, "Yeah, sure." So I go to the restroom and there's this corner, or like if you go along the wall, like after you enter the garage, it goes to the like the front door. Um, and that's what me and my cousin believed was like a spiritual like portal, like some type of portal, because like
Oh
him and I would
man.
constantly like see things like walking, enter the garage, go along that wall into the like by the front door and like disappear. Like that, he's seen that. I haven't really seen anything do that.
Oh man.
Um, and so my little sister, she's sitting on the futon watching TV. The TV is like next to that little spot by the front door, and while I'm in the restroom, and my cousin, while I'm in the restroom, gave her like a box of Cheez-Its because she wanted some, and I was gonna keep her quiet. She's like, okay. And the walls in that house are very thin, and the futon is right against the wall where my grandmother's room was. So there would like where it was to the point, like my grandma's a really light sleeper. It was to the point where even if my little sister was just like running around, and it's not like a raised house, so it's not like gonna be like thuds like every time you're running around. It's like a tile, like it's solid ground, not raised, not anything like that. So she just run around, and my grandmother would like wake up, even if you like start talking a little loud, like kind of talking how I'm talking right now. Um, she'd end up waking up. My little sister apparently screamed bloody murder. And a thing is like spirit like spiritual beings have an ability to like block out sounds, or like make it to where people can't hear things. And I didn't hear it. My grandmother didn't even wake up. Like she didn't come out there. She would usually come out there and like get onto us if we're getting too loud, or like check to see if she's okay when she like started screaming and crying. My cousin walks out because and he actually heard it, and he was walking out thinking I possibly like took the Cheez-Its away from her, but she was there crying, like staring at that one spot like by the front door, and he basically said, "Hey, whatever's there, you need to back off. You need to go," and it left. And because him and I are like big believers in like paranormal, we are both empaths. We both like feel presence and all of that. And he ended up going into my grandfather's room, knocking on the bathroom door to get me. I said, "Hey, what's up?" And he like told me basically, basically just like actually like screaming, like at the top of your lungs, like screaming, crying. Uh, that's like scream bloody murder. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Scream bloody murder, like high pitched scream.
Like,
That was more of an exaggeration though, like, but she was like screaming, crying. And I know he wasn't lying about that because when I came out, she ran up to me and hugged me tight, and she was like kind of like breathing heavily, like trying to get air. So I know he wasn't like lying about her like crying and stuff. So she was like really scared and like saw something. So yeah, it was like terrifying, dude.
Shit's
There's a lot of things that
crazy.
happened in that house, which I'll possibly like say more on a different stream or like another time, but
Well, I certainly wouldn't want to be in that house.
no.
yeah, I just like that house. It's peaceful. There's nothing. There's things that obviously like are mischievous, um, but there's nothing that was really bad, like that meant harm. So yeah.
Okay.
So Charksy, you told Joshy and I like the general gist of something that's happened to you. So
Yeah.
I feel like now it's your turn to spill
Oh
some.
man. Okay, so this is the story of the most scared I've ever been in literally my entire life. So I was on tour. I used to go on tour with this group. We'd basically during the summer times go around to different colleges and high schools and talk about like healthy communication, like being an active bystander, and we'd like go and we'd perform and like put on little training sessions with them, etc. So I'm on tour and we're staying at this hotel. We're in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. So we're like basically right down the street from where the Battle of Antietam happened, which is still the bloodiest battle to ever happen on American soil. And we're literally like at a hotel that like overlooks the Potomac River. So like a lot of history like already going on. So we're at this hotel. It's nighttime. We're going to bed. I'm in my own little bed, and my castmate Kristen is in like a bed next to me. So it's like a two-bed situation. So we fall asleep, no problem. And in the middle of the night, it was probably about 3 a.m., which to this day I still call 3 to 4 a.m. like the witching hour. Like I literally hate this period of time that occurs, like
Oh
during
yeah.
the
Oh
early
yeah, it
morning.
Yeah,
I
sucks.
totally,
cannot stand
totally.
it. So I wake up in the middle of the night and I felt like actually terrified to my core. Like I woke up feeling afraid. And like I
Jesus.
didn't feel tired at all. I felt wide awake and I felt like there was like something in the room with me, obviously like besides my castmate. Like I felt like there was just like a presence. So I used to watch TLC when I was younger, the Long Island Medium lady, the Teresa Caputo. Um, and so I remember an episode where she was like, when I don't want to talk to spirit, I picture a door closing in my mind. So every once in a while growing up, like I would just do this. Like I've always kind of felt like a little more in tune with stuff and like just to like keep myself safe sometimes, I'll just picture like a little door closing in my mind, just to be safe. So I have that thought in this moment and I picture a door closing in my mind. And literally a second later, I feel my whole body being lifted from the bed. I'm being lifted like from my neck. And it's like pulling up, like my left ear is like ascending into the air. My body is like literally starting to rise out of the bed. And I am
Oh
like
no.
literally paralyzed. I cannot move. all of a
Yo,
sudden I
what?
start hearing static in my left ear, which is the one that's the highest towards the ceiling at this point, like a screaming static noise, and it sounds like the volume level, like someone is turning up the volume knob or like turning up the volume on a piece of technology as the static is like getting louder and louder and louder, screaming in my ear. I literally try to scream for my castmate. I cannot speak. I cannot move. I'm literally being like, I'm like hovering at this point, like paralyzed. And in the next moment, I'm like back in the bed, like as scared as I've ever been in my entire life. And I remember feeling like I could not look directly above me. Like I was like just fully frozen. And I remember like I quickly looked to the left and I quickly looked to the right and I didn't see anything, but I did not want to look directly above me. And I truly believe that I upset whatever it was in the room by telling it that I didn't want to communicate with it, and that it literally attacked me. Like I was like frozen, and I was like awake for another hour, not moving, just purely terrified,
Oh my
and eventually fell
god.
back asleep and told everyone in the morning.
I would have ran out of the building.
I like
That is
honestly was too
crazy,
scared.
bro.
Like my response, like flight, fight, or like freeze. Like I freeze. Like when I get like truly in those situations, like I cannot move. So
Oh
like I
yeah.
was literally like, but yeah, no, I truly believe that like whatever it was, like got upset that I communicated that I didn't want to speak to it, and I think it like literally attacked me. It was like this crazy like static noise, and I just remember getting like louder and louder and louder, and like I could not move or talk.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
terrifying.
it was super scary.
No, I
Yeah.
bet it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Hugh Jagger. Okay, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. But
We don't mean to give nightmares, but who knows? Maybe closer to Halloween, we might get some, scary stories up in here. Maybe see if Charksy has any more things.
oh
Possibly see if
god.
Charksy would want to, come in on another podcast
I'd
because
love to, yeah.
this podcast has actually been amazing. Just
Oh
Charksy
no.
being here, not even counting like you guys being here. Like you guys being here has also made it like absolutely amazing. But like Charksy being here too just honestly made the podcast like feel a lot more fluent and just feel better in general.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for asking me to do this.
Yeah, of
Yeah, of
course.
course.
Thank you for actually accepting and like following through with it.
Yeah.
You know, when I first heard about Isaiah like come over here and say like there's a girl like she has about like a few thousand followers. She's willing to do a podcast with us. I'm like, what? No, that can't be. There's no way. So then he just like he's just telling me all about it. I'm like, are you serious? She's actually willing to do this. I'm like, and she's like, I mean, and when he's like, yeah, man. I'm like, all right, I'm down. Let's do it.
Heck yeah. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
love stuff like this. I love podcasts. They're awesome.
Yeah, like
I mean,
I was also talking
absolutely.
about like your streams and like how like you actually like have a good vibe and like I could tell you're like passionate about like what you do
Hmm.
and it's really amazing to see people like that they're not passionate in it for the money or like for the fame or whatever. They're passionate in it for truly what they believe in, and I could tell like that's how you are. You're passionate in it for what you believe in.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool too. And plus, especially you said you started from zero. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny too because like people will come in and be like, "Oh, like what do I need to start streaming?" And I'm like, to be honest, so I started streaming with like anything that I could use, and you kind
Yeah,
of build your way up. I mean, like obviously some people like if they have a bigger budget, I'm like, then go for it because at the time I didn't have like anything to work
yeah,
with.
absolutely.
Um, but yeah, I always tell people I'm like don't wait to start. Like some of my biggest regrets with like content creation or like putting off like start like doing the TikTok live thing. Like I wish I started that way sooner and like I wish I found Twitch way sooner and but you're at where you're at and I think you gotta go for it and keep the consistency with it and
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
definitely grow.
absolutely, absolutely. I always like I also wanted to do like not. I always wanted to do content creation or just something, to put myself out there in the world of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So when Isaiah's like, "Hey, let's do a podcast," I'm like, "You know what? Let's do it. I mean, what do we got to lose?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, worst thing gonna happen, it just doesn't work out, and we'll just put more work into it.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's not one of those things that's you lose and it's over. Um,
Yeah.
and another thing, like, Josh and I, we don't have the best setups either. Like, and we're starting the podcast. Don't get me wrong, it's not a massive podcast. It's not just a massive channel or whatever, or like anything. But we're like doing this, and we don't have the best things. Like I said, I'm talking to you guys from my phone using just an ordinary gaming headset that I have, and most of the time I'm using my earbuds, like my Bluetooth earbuds. Uh, this gaming headset's only about like $80. It's not one of the mm, top tier ones. I'm not saying it's something that like literally just everybody could just blow their money on, but like, and I'm not even saying I blew our money on it. I got it for Christmas. It was a
Yeah,
present.
totally. You
Like,
you, you
Mm-hmm.
take you take everything you get as gifted.
yeah, and like and I that's it. And this laptop that I'm using to actually monitor stream, it's what I use for my schoolwork. It's I'm using like basic things. I don't have like an actual setup. I don't have PC and monitors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have the best internet. Our internet kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. And
Yeah.
it's either this or like a pair of JBL wireless earbuds.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that I use, and it's either that or this headset connected to the phone that you guys usually hear my audio from.
And I
So
am I am really glad that you asked me if you wanted to do a podcast with me, Isaiah, because you probably assumed I had a pretty like decent setup for like knowing how to stream because I usually play a lot of computer games and stuff. So when you asked me to do the podcast, I'm like, you know what? I got a pretty good setup. I mean, my setup isn't like the greatest in the world, but it's really good. I got a good PC to oops, I got a good PC to stream and play video games. I got a decent microphone. I can set things up. It's pretty fast. So I think
see,
that's so I think at that point it's actually very doable.
like it's not that I like assumed that you had like a great setup or anything. It's the fact that you and I are good friends. We've
Yeah,
known
and
each
then
other
that too, and that too.
for about like 3 years now, if not more. And no, it was, yeah, about like 3 years, cause
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was closer to 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you know, we we've been good friends ever since. And like as soon as we met, we hit it off. It's it's not that. It's just it's something that I've wanted to do for a while. I knew you were someone that, hey, I could depend on. Someone who would actually like help me out with it, and you have. And not only is it that, but yeah, I did know that you also had. Um, I also knew that, yeah, you did have a good setup, and that's that's the part where I was like, all right, that could help with the streaming quality. But I didn't even know you like had any streaming or like any setup experience. So I was like, all right, we'll learn together. We have, we've learned together. We've learned how to do the watermarks for our YouTube channel. Uh, we learned how to get the background set up. The proper things that we should use to actually promote our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we learned. We're still learning how to set up the Discord. We're trying to learn how to get like points set up on our channel. You know,
Mm-hmm. We've already came a long way, and it's only been like a few streams, honestly.
yeah. it's
Yeah.
like,
It takes time for sure, you know.
yeah,
You
it for sure
just
takes time, and
we just gotta be patient with it. That's all.
yeah, it for sure takes time, and we're both willing to put in that time that it takes, and we're really happy that, we're here, and, we're really happy that we got this opportunity to do this stream with Charksy, you know.
Oh and yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but it was really nice and just awesome from the beginning,
Yeah.
From the beginning to us, having nobody to just a few friends. Now, we have a fellow creator here. We have uh more people other than just a few friends like coming in,
Mhm.
and even though it may not be uh even though it may not be our own community, it's still, it could still help us work our way up, and we're extremely grateful for that and truly happy, and really thank you guys for that. And
Yeah.
honestly, I just want to say Charksy is an amazing person. She didn't have us offer her anything, like she didn't make us do anything for this. I asked her if she wanted to come in, and she said yeah. There's no questions asked.
Oh, hell
It
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I think that's important though. Like for me, it's all about like community. And so like if I can like do something that like is like useful for like another creator, like help other people grow, like that's very important to me. Like
yeah.
even though like I'm still small to like support like our peeps, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's always been really important. Even if it's just like, oh, like I'm gonna like, someone's on who like comes in the chat, like let's go raid them or like, like anything. Yeah, it's always been really important for me to like to support I say supporting the homies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I'm pretty sure Charksy also knows that we weren't planning on, you doing all this for us, because I even told you on TikTok live when I first brought up the podcast. I or no, I wasn't in TikTok live. It was whenever I was playing with you on TikTok live. So yeah, I was still on TikTok. Yeah, even if you're not just creator, just take the opportunities given and have some fun. But I was playing with you, we're on stream, and we're talking, you're getting to know your viewers, and that's also another thing that I love about your streams. And just you as a person, you get to know your viewers,
Hmm.
and that's you don't see that a lot anymore, with the big creators. And I really hope you keep that, whenever you blow up a lot more, because you definitely deserve it.
Thank you.
I really hope you keep that, keep hanging out with your community, getting to know your community, because all these big streamers, it's sub
It
only
is.
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to, all of a sudden you have to pay money to be able to even chat, you
Yeah.
know,
It's
and
crazy.
let alone, you're not even getting paid attention to. So
Hmm.
even if you're using points to do highlighted chats, it's still nothing.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
So I really hope you keep that, we're definitely gonna keep that too. But I do kind of understand where they what they're doing by that, because it's hard to keep track of everybody in the chat. But it seems like some of those creators don't even try with that.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
and
they're
I
just
think everything, yeah, and like for me, it's also important that like everyone who's there, like they're taking time out of their day to like watch you, and like just them being there alone, like is support, regardless of money. So like I've always felt like I get it with like the big guys, like if they want to be able to read their chat, like sub only can help, but it's also like you're removing a voice from all these other people who support you.
exactly, and thank you, Jagger. That's what we're going for. We're going
Mhm.
for actually being able to, you know, and I didn't even ask Charksy about this, but I'm sure she's also, going for that too. Actually caring about the simple or the complex comments. And you
Mhm.
know, like we're down to hear your guys' stories. We're down to hear your guys' experiences. We're even saying, I think it was No, it was Jagger and Shagatron. We were even like reading out Shagatron's experience. Like we're down to hear you guys out. We're down to hear you guys things. We're not gonna make you send us bits or donations or sub. Well, when and if we even get to that point, though, to be honest. But it's we're not gonna make you guys do that. It's whatever. You know,
Yeah.
it's a community. Right now, it's a small
Yeah.
community. Hopefully, we can grow it to be a bigger community. But it's we're planning on keeping it that way. It may not be every single comment because as the community gets bigger, it's gonna be harder.
But we'll do our best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Alright.
you know it may seem like it's rough now, but it's actually not. It's actually really fun. Right now it's for fun, and eventually it'll get into being serious. But even if it does get serious, we're still gonna be how we are now. It's not gonna change. And also,
Absolutely.
Charksy, I also did want to say I was there when you were trying to reach 4,000, like 4K on TikTok and Twitch.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so congrats on that because I remember I think it was like the first or second stream I got on. You were talking
Yeah.
about like how
Yeah.
you're only like a couple thousand, a couple hundred away.
Yeah.
So I do also want to say like congrats on that. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank
Oh hell
you.
yeah, 4,000,
So
man.
Yeah. It's crazy
That's a
because I hit
lot.
them. I hit them on the same day, and like this is why I feel like it's so important as like creators to like branch out to multiple places because like I think if you exclude like I had some kid come in and follow bot me, so like I think I'm still pretty close to around that 4K number like when Twitch fixes that for me. But like on TikTok, I'm almost at 4.5K. So
yeah, like
like
I saw
it's
that. It
crazy like
was
the difference in growth between the platforms for sure.
yeah. Like I was doing that today because like I was going
Yeah.
to see if you were live, but I was a little late. No, I don't think you went live today, did you?
No, not yet. Not yet.
All right. Yeah, I was going to see if you're live, and I saw you're at like 4,400 something.
Hmm.
Like, damn, she's getting close to 5K now. Like
Yeah, it's
just
crazy.
hit 4K a few days ago, and now you're already like going up to 5K. Like
Hmm.
that's
Oh
definitely
yeah,
amazing. You know.
Tracy, you're,
Yeah.
you're growing quick. That's all I gotta say. You're growing
Thank
real quick.
you. Yeah, it's a grind.
Yeah,
Double
I
streaming
could
every
tell you
day.
definitely have that grind. I mean, like 2 streams every day, one stream on TikTok for a few hours, and it's not even like you're doing it for like an hour or so. You're doing it for a few hours.
Mhm.
You're actually like going not only streaming for a few hours, but you're also hanging out with your community too, like doing
Yeah.
community games and everything like that. And like, yeah, like not a big time streamer, but like still doing your thing and just
Mhm.
listening. Like, yeah, like that's all it takes. Just have a good community. Be good to your community. Show that you actually appreciate your community, and you
Yeah.
know you're bound for success, and
Mhm.
you're gonna get success the right way, not
True. True.
not the
Yeah.
wrong
I
way.
I feel like there's a lot of people who like try to take a fast path. Like there was someone who came in my chat, basically like their first message was like follow back, and like my community went over and like they had like 3 follows but like 100 viewers, and then like someone DM'd one of my community members and was like, oh, they paid $5 for 100 view bots. So like I feel like there's so many people out there who like try to take this fast pass like it's Six Flags with content creation,
Yeah,
but like nothing will ever overcome like you putting in the actual time with like your growth and like putting in the time for your channel and like getting like the quality right,
Oh
um
yeah,
and like making those connections for sure.
yeah.
yeah.
Like me, right now what I'm doing, like to promote the stream, is I have like a personal TikTok account which I use for the stream. Which I don't really post on it anyways, so that's why I just started using it. But like eventually I'm planning on possibly getting the TikTok account on like for our actual like account that Joshy and I share,
Yeah.
because we
Hmm.
have we have like full we have full like shared account. Like he has access to the email, I have access to the email. We both have
Yeah.
access to the passwords, and you know,
I think that'd be great.
so yeah, he's just able to get on his phone and check emails, do whatever, and I'm able to get on my phone or computer and like do the same thing.
Mhm.
Like we both have that, and that's one of the good things about it. Like if you're doing something where it's a shared thing, something I'd recommend is like do that, make it to where you both have access to it, because I feel like if only one person has access to it, it's gonna get like there's gonna be trust issues there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because it'll be like, oh, why are you the only one with access to it? Because all it takes is, hey, change passwords, change, you know, all this, and I'm the only one that has access to it, so nobody else can do it, you know. But like,
Yeah, definitely.
and
Yeah.
like, and like I said earlier too, like, we already went over all of our topics. Yeah, like we're still talking, That's what we just want to do, we want to just chat, hang out, do whatever. Obviously go over our main topics, make sure those are went over, but I'm not gonna rush to it. I'm pretty sure we showed that with the first like hour of the stream. It was just like talking to chat, doing whatever.
Yeah.
We're talking about driving.
Yeah.
And you know, we're always down to give advice or say whatever on whatever we can. We're not gonna give
Mhm.
false advice. If we don't believe it worked for us, we're not gonna say it to you guys. I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, you're gonna be yourself, and at the end of the day, if people like you or not, that's not on you. Yeah, exactly. It's it's that's how it is. Some people are gonna like you, some people aren't. But the people that like you are the ones that you truly want to pay attention to, and especially those people that are like with you during your all-time low. That's the type of people that you want, like, when you're at your best. And we'll remember you guys. We're not gonna be like, oh, we're blowing up now, just because we got a few thousand or like a couple thousand. We're not gonna be like, oh, who's that? Or even if we get into like millions one day, I'm not gonna go, who's that? And I'm sure Josh is not gonna go, who's that? Like, we're gonna remember you guys were
No,
here
bruh.
like since the beginning, you know, like it was from the beginning.
Exactly,
And
man.
and you guys could clip this too, you guys could use it to fact check us one day, like fact check us one day.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
down for it. But, that's genuinely what we want to do. That's how we want to do our thing.
That's
Just hang
awesome.
out, do whatever, and yeah.
Well, I'll definitely say this has definitely been our longest stream that we've streamed so far.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's,
About 2 hours.
I
It's
mean,
about to hit our
combine,
2 hour mark.
yeah, I mean, combine our two longest, and it's,
Yeah.
actually, no, two longest would be about an hour 30.
Yeah, definitely.
No, 2 hours 30, but like, still, it's definitely been our longest in pod. Um, and yeah. Oh yeah,
Well,
for sure. Jagger, look, man, you came in this stream, uh, where it mattered most. We're not gonna get upset if some people aren't able to be here like all the time. Just like, even if you just come in every now and then, like it doesn't even have to be every other stream. Just like, yeah, like, all right, so I can call you Sam. I just want to make sure.
hey, appreciate it, Jagger. You're a good man. Hope you
Yeah,
know that too.
you're awesome, and
And I can call you
and
Sam.
you're
All
right.
right.
We do got Josh. I got Josh. You guys got Josh.
Let's
You
go.
know, but But yeah, for sure. You know, we're gonna keep up the grind.
The internet's still crappy. I'm sorry, Kenji. I'm really sorry.
Kenji, I'm sorry, man.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
It is hard to get your goal in the
oh
end.
yeah. Streaming's very hard career.
Yo, Kenji, also man, you know, if your internet's not that best, man, I'm not the best, it's good, you know. You don't gotta worry about it. And you know,
As
if you
long as you
really did
tune in, as long as you tune in,
yeah, as long as you
it's all
tune in, man.
it's all that matters.
Just make sure you make sure we know and you're here in the chat, you know, take attendance and you're good, man. But like,
It's all good, bro.
yeah. And if you really do wanna watch this, you know, we are gonna be posting it on YouTube. It'll be up in like a few hours. Uh, maybe like an hour or two, depends on how long it takes to
Hopefully,
download and upload. Yeah.
unless he forgets, like how that last stream was.
Yeah, no, I learned my lesson. I'm not gonna forget this time. Trust. We'll say that gaming stream was just a trial run, you know, didn't want to upload it yet. We'll
Yeah,
just say
we'll
that.
be okay.
Uh,
All right, guys. Well, all I gotta
so
say is thanks for tuning in, man.
yeah.
It's been a
Thanks for
fun
tuning
ride.
in,
It's been a fun
guys.
ride. Been fun 2 hours with y'all.
Yeah.
And Charksy,
Yeah.
it was really great meeting you.
Oh, you guys too. Thank you so much for having me again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, of course. And we're always down to have you another time if you just want to join in, you have something that you want to share, you know.
Oh, heck yeah.
And guys, and forever who hasn't done it, hit that follow button. And also in the search bar on top of you, go type in Charksy, CHARKSIE, and follow her too.
Yeah, make sure you guys do that. You know, make sure you guys check out Charksy on YouTube and Twitch. I'm sure most of you guys are, you know, here from Charksy. But you know, we added Charksy in the title to get to her Twitch, and you know, Charksy has her TikTok, you know, on her Twitch streams.
Yep.
And do you also have it in your bio?
Let's see. Yeah, it should be in there too. Yeah.
All right, and
Go ahead.
she also has her Twitch in her bio, so you know, you don't got to worry about that. So, and you guys, you know, get to see that. So, make sure you guys tune in, you know, to her streams whenever she goes live later. And, you know, it was fun having you guys. This was an awesome episode.
Mm-hmm.
And can't wait to see you guys another time.
All right, we good to go? Ready to stop stream?
Anything you guys want to say before we end it?
Socials.
GG's.
Yep, GG.
GG's.
All right, see y'all later.
See you later, guys. Have fun.
Bye.
You know.